The Independent discusses Trump land in the making about how Australia's what people consider the far right party, One Nation, is gaining votes. Now, I think that despite what many people say, Pauline Hanson's policies are not so much as far right-ish, although there are some tendencies in that party. But the issue is that the voters who should be voting for Pauline Hanson, who are voting for Pauline Hanson, would probably be voting for Labour or for the Liberal. Now, what's the issue here, I guess? Trump plan in the making. Pauline Hanson's One Nation party is based on the fears of the white working class in Australia. What has caused this is the fact that over the past 33 years, the Labour Party of Australia has failed to provide an alternative to the neoliberal policies of the Liberal coalition. They have pushed policies and guidelines that increase and empower the employer class and allows for a greater range of what's appropriate word? Oh yeah, they allow a greater range of fiscal responsibility, I guess. This ultimately has increased inequality so much that a lot of the members of the or people that vote for Labour are voting for One Nation. Now, to be fair, Labour has not completely abandoned the working class or for the second lowest quintennial or the lowest quintennial so much. This has ultimately been because Labour has remained quite moderate on social issues. They haven't supported the gay marriage until 2013, despite the fact that there's popular support for it in Australia since 2010. Look it up. Anyways, what has caused this rise in Pauline Hanson? Like I said, is Labour's ineffectualness against the Liberal coalition and the fact that they've elected Bill Shorten as their leader. Now, for those that don't know, Bill Shorten is the most right-wing Labour leader possible. Now, they could have picked anybody, Wayne Swan, they could have picked Anthony Albanese, they could have picked who was that? Not Cooper, they could have picked, I think it was Drastrelisi? Yeah, they could have picked Drastrelisi, but they picked Bill Shorten, the most right-wing Labour leader. In fact, his policies are what John Howard's policies were 10 years ago when he was trying to get re-elected. That's how far right Labour has actually moved. And that's why a lot of people are fleeing to minor parties. And the ineffectualness of Labour to actually deal with this issue has caused the rise of One Nation and to a certain extent the Greens. Unfortunately, however, this will only seem to rise as long as the Labour Party has Bill Shorten. Now, if you look through the article, you will notice that the rise of Trump and the fact that Pauline Hanson is trying to push herself as an anti-establishment figure is gaining votes, actually. Her policies against the treatment of Julian Assange, and the fact that she's actually pushing through some labor policies that are to left of the Labour Party themselves is demonstrated here. So what do you think I would recommend the Labour Party to do? Well, first and foremost, actually get rid of Bill Shorten. And second and foremost, actually push through some left-wing policy. Now, this will mean actually going and pushing it and talking about it. And that's something that a lot of the Labour politicians have been uncomfortable with. Now, I appreciate what Bob Hawke and Paul Keating tried to do with the Labour Party, and I understand why they had to do it, because they had to neutralize Malcolm Fraser. Now, to be honest, I liked Malcolm Fraser quite a bit because of his policy. He was he was actually a bit to the left of what Bob Hawke was saying. And while what he did to Gough Whitlam was a bit terrible, he governed in quite a moderate way. Now back on topic. So altogether, Trump land in the making. Pauline Hanson's party, I see her rising and gaining more seats and vote. Maybe 3 in Queensland, 1 in New South Wales in the lower house, and gaining more in the upper house. So this is what we're going to have to deal with in the future. But if that's what we have to deal with to reduce inequality, then yes, we have to accept that.